chapter 13, verse 17. Shinjato me kshatir varbi lavyamanara samgata atatra kim anushteyam ashmavi sargo yojitai yasyaham pridayad asham sha isho vidato me. Brahma thought, while I have been engaged in the process of creation, the earth has been inundated by a deluge and has gone down into the depths of the ocean. What can we do who are engaged in this matter of creation? It is best to let the Almighty Lord direct us. Purport. The devotees of the Lord, who are all confidential servitors, are sometimes perplexed in the discharge of their respective duties, but they are never discouraged. They have full faith in the Lord, and He paves the way for the smooth progress of the devotee's duty. Icha bibhyayato nasha vivarat sasangaha varahatoka niragad angushta parimanaka. O sinless Vidura, all of a sudden, while Brahma was engaged in thinking, a small form of a boar came out of his nostril. The measurement of the creature was not more than the upper portion of a thumb. Tasya vipashyata kashtaha shanena kila bharata gaja matra pavavride tad abutam abumahat. O descendant of Bharata, while Brahma was observing him, that boar became situated in the sky in a wonderful manifestation as gigantic as a great elephant. Marichi pramukair viprai kumarair manunasaha drishtva tat chokaram rupam Darkayamasha chitrada. Struck with wonder at observing the wonderful boar-like form in the sky, Brahma, with great Brahmanas like Marichi, as well as the Kumaras and Manu, began to argue in various ways. Kim itat shukara vyajam sattvam divyam avashtitam aho batash charyamidam nashayame vinivishtam. Is this some extraordinary entity come in the pretense of a boar? It is very wonderful that he has come from my nose. Drishto nigushta shiro matra kshanan ganda shila sama apishvid bhagavan isha yajno me kedayamana. First of all, this boar was seen no bigger than the tip of a thumb, and within a moment he was as large as a stone. My mind is perturbed. Is he the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu? Since Brahma is the supermost person in the universe and he has never before experienced such a form, he could guess that the wonderful appearance of the boar was an incarnation of Vishnu. The uncommon features symptomatic of the incarnation of Godhead can bewilder even the mind of Brahma. Iti mimam shatastasya brahmana saha sunibi bhagavan yajna purusho jagar jagendra sanibaha. While Brahma was deliberating with his sons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, roared tumultuously like a great mountain. It appears that green hills and mountains also have their roaring power, because they are also living entities. The volume of the sound vibrated is in proportion to the size of the material body. While Brahma was guessing about the appearance of the Lord's incarnation as a boar, the Lord confirmed Brahma's contemplation by roaring with his gorgeous voice. Brahmanam harshayamasha haristangscha dvijodatam svagarjitena kakuba pratishvanayata vibhu. The omnipotent Supreme Personality of Godhead enlivened Brahma and the other highly elevated Brahmanas by again roaring with his uncommon voice, which echoed in all directions. Brahma and other enlightened Brahmanas also know the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you. Brahma and other enlightened Brahmanas who know the Supreme Personality of Godhead are enlivened by the appearance of the Lord in any of his multi-incarnations. The appearance of the wonderful and gigantic incarnation of Vishnu as the mountain-like boar did not fill them with any kind of fear, although the Lord's resounding voice was tumultuous and echoed horribly in all directions, as an open threat to all demons who might challenge his omnipotency. Nishamyate gargaritam svakeda kshayishnu maya maya shukarashya janastapa satya nivashineste dribi pavitrayar munayo grinansma. When the great sages and thinkers who are residents of Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka heard the tumultuous voice of Lord Boar, which was the all-auspicious sound of the all-merciful Lord, they chanted auspicious chants from the 3 Vedas. The word Maya Maya is very significant in this verse. Maya means mercy, specific knowledge, and also illusion. Interesting. Has different meanings like that, huh?
Yeah.
Did you know that? I mean, we always hear it means illusion, but I didn't know that it meant Maya.
Yeah.
Therefore, Lord Boar is everything. He is merciful. He is all knowledge, and he is illusion also. The sound which he vibrated as the boar incarnation was answered by the Vedic hymns of the great sages in the planets Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. The highest intellectual and pious living entities live in these planets, and when they heard the extraordinary voice of the boar, they could understand that the specific sound was vibrated by the Lord and no one else. Therefore, they replied by praying to the Lord with Vedic hymns. The earth planet was submerged in the mire, but on hearing the sound of the Lord, the inhabitants of the higher planets were all jubilant because they knew that the Lord was there to deliver the earth. So it was submerged in the mire, is like, the muck, the dirty place. Therefore, Brahma and all the sages, such as Bhrigu, Brahman's other sons, and learned Brahmins, were enlivened, and they concertedly joined in praising the Lord with the transcendental vibration of the Vedic hymns. The most important is the Brihan Naradiya Purana verse, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Tesham satam veda vitanam murtir, Brahman vantar yatma gunan nuvadam, Vinaja bhuyo vibudhodayaya, Vinaja bhuyo vibudhodayaya, Gajendra lilo jalam avivesha. Playing like an elephant, he entered into the water after roaring again. Playing like an elephant, he entered into the water after roaring again, in reply to the Vedic prayers by the great devotees. The Lord is the object of the Vedic prayers, and thus he understood that the devotees' prayers were meant for him. The form of the Lord in any shape is always transcendental and full of knowledge and mercy. The Lord is the destroyer of all material contamination because his form is personified Vedic knowledge. All the Vedas worship the transcendental form of the Lord. In the Vedic mantras, the devotees request the Lord to remove the glaring effulgence because it covers his real face. That is the version of the Ishopanishad. The Lord has no material form, but his form is always understood in terms of the Vedas. The Vedas are said to be the breath of the Lord, and that breath was inhaled by Brahma, the original student of the Vedas. The Vedas are said to be the breath of the Lord, and that breath was inhaled by Brahma, the original student of the Vedas. The breathing from the nostril of Brahma caused the appearance of Lord Boar, and therefore the Boar incarnation of the Lord is the personified Vedas. The glorification of the incarnation by the sages on the higher planets consisted of factual Vedic hymns. Whenever there is glorification of the Lord, it is to be understood that Vedic mantras are being rightly vibrated. The Lord was therefore pleased when such Vedic mantras were chanted, and to encourage his pure devotees, he roared once more and entered the water to rescue the submerged earth. Ukshipta vala chara kator. Okay. Ukshipta vala chara katora sata vidunam kara romashatvak kurunya hatta priya sita damashtra iksha jyotir babashe bhagavan mahidra. Ukshipta bala, slashing with the tail in the sky. Before entering the water to rescue the earth, Lord Boar flew in the sky, slashing his tail, his hard hairs quivering. His very glance was luminous, and he scattered the clouds in the sky with his hooves and his glittering white tusks. When the Lord is offered prayers by his devotees, his transcendental activities are described. Here are some of the transcendental features of Lord Boar. As the residents of the upper three planetary systems offered their prayers to the Lord, it is understood that his body expanded throughout the sky, beginning from the topmost planet, Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. It is stated in the Brahma Samhita that his eyes are the sun and the moon. Therefore, his very glance over the sky was as illuminating as the sun or the moon. The Lord is described herein as Mahidraha, which means either a big mountain or the sustainer of the earth. In other words, the Lord's body was as big and hard as the Himalayan mountains. Otherwise, how was it possible that he kept the entire earth on the support of his white tusks? The poet Jayadev, a great devotee of the Lord, has sung of the incident in his prayers for the incarnations, which is what we just sang. Vashati dashanam shikare dharani tavalagnam shashini kalanka kelava nimagna keshavadrita shukararupa jaya jagadisha hare. All glories to Lord Keshava, Krishna, who appeared as the boar. The earth was held between his tusks, which appeared like the scars on the moon. Granena pritva paravim vijigram krodapadisha svayam ad varanga karala damashtra pyakara drikbyam udviksha vipram grinato vishatkam. He was personally the Supreme Lord Vishnu and was therefore transcendental. Yet because he had the body of a hog, he searched after the earth by smell. His tusks were fearful, and he glanced over the devotee brahmanas engaged in offering prayers. Thus he entered the water. We should always remember that although the body of a hog is material, the hog form of the Lord was not materially contaminated. It is not possible for an earthly hog to assume a gigantic form spreading throughout the sky, beginning from Satyaloka. His body is always transcendental in all circumstances. Therefore, the assumption of the form of a boar is only his pastime. His body is all Vedas or transcendental. But since he has assumed the form of a boar, he began to search out the earth by smelling, just like a hog. The Lord can perfectly play the part of any living entity. The gigantic features of the boar was certainly very fearful for all non-devotees, but to the pure devotees of the Lord, he was not at all fearful. On the contrary, he was so pleasingly glancing upon his devotees that all of them felt transcendental happiness. Sa vajra kutanga nipata vega vishirna kukshi shtanayan udavan utrishta dirgormi bujar ivartas chukrosha yajneshvara pahimeti. Diving into the water like a giant mountain, Lord Boar divided the middle of the ocean, and two high waves appeared as the arms of the ocean, which cried loudly as if praying to the Lord, "O Lord of all sacrifices, please do not cut me in two. Kindly give me protection." Even the great ocean was perturbed by the falling of the mountain-like body of the transcendental boar, and it appeared to be frightened, as if death were imminent. Kurair kshuru prayer darayas tadapa utpara param triparu rasayam dadarshakam tata shushup shuragre yam jiva danim swayam abhyadata. Lord Boar penetrated the earth with his hooves. Lord Boar penetrated the water with his hooves, which were like sharp arrows, and found the limits of the ocean, although it was unlimited. He saw the earth, the resting place for all living beings, lying as if it wasn't in the beginning of creation, and he personally lifted it up. He saw the earth, the resting place for all living beings, lying as if it was in the beginning of creation, and he personally lifted it. The word rasayam is sometimes interpreted to mean rasatala, the lowest planetary system, but that is not applicable in this connection according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. The earth is 7 times superior to the other planetary systems, namely Tala, Atala, Tatala, Vitala, Rasatala, Patala, etc. Therefore, the earth cannot be situated in the Rasatala planetary system. It is described in the Vishnu Dharma. Patala muleshvara boga samhato vinyasya padau pritivim cha vibrata yasyo pamano nababuva sochuto mamashtu mangalya vivrijaya hari. Therefore the Lord found the earth on the bottom of the Garbhodaka ocean, where the planets rest during the devastation at the end of Brahma's day. Shvadam shtrayo dradrita mahim nimegnam sautita samruche rasaya tatrapi daityam gadaya patantam sunabhya sandi pita tivramanyu. Lord Boar very easily took the earth on his tusks and got it out of the water. Thus he appeared very splendid. Then, his anger glowing like the Sudarshan wheel, he immediately killed the demon Hiranyaksha, although he tried to fight with the Lord. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the Vedic literatures describe the incarnation of Lord Varaha, Boar, in 2 different devastations, namely the Chakshusha devastation and the Svayambhuva devastation. This particular appearance of the boar incarnation actually took place in the Svayambhuva devastation, when all planets other than the higher ones, Jana, Mahar, Satya, and Satya, merged in the water of devastation. This particular incarnation of the boar was seen by the inhabitants of the planets mentioned above. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti suggests that the sage Maitreya amalgamated both the boar incarnations in different devastations and summarized them in his description to Vidura. Do you want me to stop there? If I don't know how long the verses of Varaha go on, but if we want, we could read more tonight about them. Yeah? Okay. Shri Varahadev ki jai. Divine appearance of Lord Varahadev ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri the Gurudev ki jai. Jai.
It's just funny how it's so much easier for us, at least for me, to hear about the pastimes of Mahaprabhu than this kind of
incarnation.
Yeah, because it's so, far away in time and space, and Mahaprabhu is so much further, so much closer in time, and we are doing what he used to do. The kirtan, etc. So it's much easier.
Mind blowing.
Yeah. Thank God he came.
But it's also nice to hear such outrageous stories because that is the Lord. He can do anything and everything.
Basically, I think my understanding Mahaprabhu was more realistic.
Realistic?
Else.
Realistic?
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean this, but I mean, easier for us to understand. Yeah. With our limited brain, at least mine is very limited.
I don't know. For me, those pastimes are closer than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes.
Really?
Definitely, yes.
Slowly.
Step by step. Also, we know about his associates. We know. I mean, we can still visit places of his associates, his followers.
Yeah, we visit also Varadev's pastimes.
Those are transcendental pastimes.
Yeah.
Really, it's wonderful to glorify in this special ways, isn't it?
Actually, I wonder if it talks about him in Bhagavad Mahavya for Koladri. We can check. I can check and see. For this evening.
Yeah, we can have a look.
Maybe.
Goranga, you want to sing?
60.
Yeah.
Hare Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya
Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana. Giridhari Gopinath Namo Ana. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra. Radhara Srivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda. Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhattara Gunata. Shiva Gopala Oh, Premanande, you were right. Here in our Mahatmya, chapter 11, it tells you about in Koladvip, which is where Varahadev is from, tells you a little bit about this pastime. Chapter 11 of Srinavadvipam Mahatmya.
What is the title of the
Shri Koladvip, Sri Samudragat, Sri Champahata, and Sri Jayadev.
To which
So
chapter you arrived?
that's a very nice section.
To which chapter you arrived in the book when you were reading it? You remember?
Must be an indication.
Yes, there is an indication that you already has passed it.
Oh yeah.
But chapter 11 is here for that particular section describing the little story of
Yeah. Oh. Jaya Sabaikar Sisi Guru Kuranga Sundarada Girinara Jubi Jaya. Om Vishnu Padsi Bhakti Nirmala Jaya Maharaj Ki Jaya. Om Vishnu Padsi Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jaya.
Yeah.
Om Vishnu Padsi Bhakti Rakha Sita Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jaya. Bhagavan Sila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jaya. Sri Rupanu Bhakti Ki Jaya. Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki Jaya. Sri Chitai Saraswatnath Sri Ajaya Vindu Ki Jaya. Om Vishnu Padsi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jaya. Sabhyala Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jaya. Sabhyala Sri Mahaprabhu Ki Jaya. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jaya. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jaya. Amaya Manju Ki Jaya. Ranta Srimad Bhagavatam Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jaya. Sri Navadvitam Ki Jaya. Sri Mayapudam Ki Jaya. Sri Vrindavanam Ki Jaya. Sri Purushottamadam Ki Jaya. Sri Varahadev Subhadaju Ki Jaya. Sri Chaitanya Saraswatnath Ki Jaya. Sri Chaitanya Saraswatnath East London Chapter Ki Jaya. Sri Chaitanya Saraswatnath West London Chapter Ki Jaya. All glories to the assembled devotees Ki Jaya. All glories to the world devotees Ki Jaya. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jaya. Sri Varadev's Avibhavana Mahotsav Ki Jaya. Nitai Gaur Premanande.